Greetings, and welcome to Energize You TV, where energy meets modern life. I'm Angel Marie, your activation catalyst. It has been a minute since I've seen you, and I've so missed you during these times when I've been gone. So I wanted to ask you a question before we begin. Are you consistently doing, yet rarely allowing yourself to simply receive? That's why today's episode is so important, especially after 6 weeks of me being gone. And today is the gift of stillness, why regulation changes everything. And for the last 6 weeks, my life has been very different. And I wanted to share it with you because sometimes it invites you to choose things that you might not always choose. Now, today's about stillness. But you know what? I didn't know this was going to happen to me. And I'm so happy that you're here to be with me today in this. And I thought it would be simple time for me to heal for this 6 weeks because of how I teach and how I show up and train. You know what? Today I'm talking to you inside what I discovered about regulation, receiving, healing, and why slowing down isn't the same as giving up. So you can apply these lessons in your own life. And it all began with one question. Always one question, isn't it? What is energy? It is the one of the most talked about subjects right now. And I'm sure you've heard about it. You've probably been somewhere where someone said, what do you think about the energy today? And did you feel, and you're thinking, wow, never really talked about that before. Well, everything is energy, isn't it? Energy is not just a concept either, is it? Energy is real. It's measurable. It is happening in your body all day, all the time, every day, every moment. And the thing is Einstein said, and I quote, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be changed from one form to another. Ooh, this is big, isn't it? Think about this. Because your body is full of energy. Ooh, it is. It needs water a lot of times to keep going. So please take a drink. There you go. Thank you. Your thoughts are energy. Your emotions are energy. Your body is consistently what? Communicating with you through your nervous system. You feel before you think it. Woo, you feel it before you think it. You might not know this. Sometimes it's like a tightness that just kind of expands, doesn't it? That knowing, that is your energy. And when you understand how to work with your energy, really experience your energy, everything in your life will change. This happened to me 30 years ago, and it's still, I see it every day when I do a session for the retreats that I do. And I can see it in their eyes when they go, oh my gosh, I can feel it. Because think about it. Let's take a moment and feel this. Your thoughts are not random. No, they are directing your energy. And your energy is consistently organizing what you experience. Oh my gosh, that's completely different, isn't it? So reality isn't fixed. The field around you is alive with possibilities. And your thoughts, emotions, and actions are constantly directing your energy within that field. Ooh, that really does change everything, doesn't it? When you think about it, it's changing it in the field, the circuits. And I always talk about the biofield, that field around you. And then the quantum field, how I'm always saying that, this isn't psychology. This is quantum physics. This is understanding field of energy. So think about this for a second. Just take a moment. I love this, especially it's the first time you've heard it, or it's just a reminder, because I know I do a lot of reminders for you, is that you think about it. What you think about, you feel about, and you bring about in your vibrational field. Pause, let that land for a second. You wake up on a Monday and say, oh, I don't like Mondays. I don't want to go to work. And Monday's always, and you're why. And all day you're like, instead of maybe, right? What you think about, you bring about. What you think about, you feel about, and you bring it about. I just want to really bring that home to you, because as you direct it, you direct that. I feel good. It's a great Monday. I can't wait to get to work. I know. But do you see what different feelings that is around your vibrational field? It's completely different. So let's play for a second. And right now, right here, let's do this with me, because I love this and I've been doing it for years, and everything always is what? Easy, right? So repeat after me. Everything in my life is easy. There you go. Everything in my life is easy. Now I want you to breathe into this, because why? It needs to really hit on a different wavelength. Everything in my life is easy. Again, everything in my life is easy. One more time. One more time. Get excited about it. Everything in my life is easy. Because this is not about the force, is it? It's not about forcing something. And the other thing I like to say, I am an easy energy. You see the I am. That's a lot of times you've heard of that with the affirmations. Then also there is, why do I have easy in everything that I do in my life? Why do I have? So you're telling the universe, telling God, you're telling the quantum field, why do I have that? And the universe is like, oh, okay, we'll give it to you. Ooh, right? Don't you like that one? I like that one a lot. And then the other one that I really like too is, I put that in there because I love feeling and living in the vibration and the frequency of everything in my life is easy. So what am I saying? I'm saying I am in this energy field, and this is who I am and how I am, and this is the vibration that I create. Whole, right? Right? Totally different. So can you feel that more clear, more calm, more aligned in your body and in your life? It does really happen that way. You're telling your body, you're telling your mind, you're telling your energy how to respond. No matter what's in front of you. Ooh, that's a good one. You choose the energy you bring to you, to it. So take a deep breath. And again, thank you for playing with me. I just love it, because what you directed it and you programmed easy energy in your life. But you know what? Knowing that everything is energy is one thing. I mean, knowing it, like reading about it, because many is like reading and everything is to study, but that's where your life begins to change. Yes. Because knowing that everything in your energy is one thing, but yet learning how to regulate that energy. Whoa, that's when everything changes, right? For most of our lives, we've never been taught how to regulate ourselves. Do you need to think about this? Because we've been taught how to perform. We've been taught how to be productive. Think, think about how this is. And we've been taught how to push through, right? We've been taught to fix what's broken. And we've also been taught to achieve more. Do more, do more, do more. What are we going to do now? Don't take a break, because there's more you can do. You can always clean something. You can always there's always more, especially if you're in a high performance, CEO, entrepreneur, constantly do. I really feel, really come with me on this, that somehow along the way, we started believing that if we just worked a little harder, pushed a little longer, or stayed a little busier, everything would eventually fall into place. And then everything would, and the clients would come, or the the clarity would come, or the coaches would come, that whatever that was in your life. But you know what? You know what? Sometimes it does fall apart. And that's what happened to me. It did. It fell apart. Everything fell apart in just one, like, week, even though I knew it was coming, but I didn't. Because, how many times have you taught yourself that routine, or you've gotten into the routine? I don't know about you, but I really have never ever liked routines. Anybody telling me what to do, or that I have to do this or I have to do that. I mean, I just don't. I teach a morning activities and an evening activities to help you to connect. But I don't call them routines. I don't call them a schedule, a checklist. I don't call them a regimen. No, I call it an activity. And in this morning activity, what happens? You become regulated. And I know that those things can help. And you do, yes, I do. I do totally want you to write those down and get into those, because they certainly can be helpful. But they're not the same as regulation. Are you leaning in now? Are you getting this? Because it's totally different. Because your body is asking, wait a second. It's really about learning to listen. Yeah, because see, I really look at that. The regulation isn't about just checking off boxes. And that's how we do when we schedule, we have a checklist, when we do, and it's different because you're learning to recognize what your body is asking for rest, maybe instead of more effect. So you're learning to recognize, identify. Are you getting this? I think you're leaning in and it's resonating with you because it's recognizing, you are recognizing when your nervous system is asking for steady instead of just more stimulation and more busy, more busy. It's understanding that your energy is constantly communicating with you. Whoa, it is. It's constantly. And like I always say, for over 30 years, I've been teaching this and about energy is your body will always win. Like me, my body won. I would not pay attention. I admit it. I know, I got to take a drink on that because I admit it. I would not pay attention. And it was like, this is your left eye. You're going to pay attention. And it was like I had to. I've taught people to become aware of it, how to work with it, and how to use it, and to live healthier and happier and more connected lives of energy. And I've taught that. Yet, I'm going to pack up because over the last 6 weeks, life invited me to live those teachings in a way I never thought. I have to admit, I was nervous, or, I was a little like when I went to the eye doctor, to the specialist, and they said on Friday, you need to see the surgeon on Monday. And by Thursday, I was getting the surgery. Wow. That's when I really was like, when life invites you to live those teachings, and it really did want me to leave those teachings, that your body always wins. And having that emergency eye surgery, coordinating everyone, it was challenging. And for the first 7 days afterwards, I was required, and it wasn't a requirement. There was nothing I could do about it. My body said, you're going to do this. And I had to be in complete darkness. Now, the eye surgery went very well. I just want to say that. It was very successful, and it was great. Yet the thing is I am diagnosed, as you know, with lupus, fibromyalgia, arthritis, and Sjogren's syndrome, plus neuropathy in my hands. Well, what happens is it makes me sensitive to light and sound. And that was what was happening, is because it required me to come at it with a greater care. So yes, like I said, the surgery was successful. My eye is doing very well. It's been 6 weeks, going great. But I'm more light sensitive now. And in that light sensitive, what happens was I was battling getting migraines. And you know what? You know, to have to be in a dark room for 7 days, that, you know, my life was built around connecting with people, teaching, creating, hosting televisions, answering messages. I mean, being on screen all day, either on this computer, on my little iPad, to my phone all day. And that kind of, that stillness, it was not only unfamiliar, it was not easy. It was really challenging. Have you ever had to do that? I kept trying to look at my phone, and I knew that I couldn't be on the phone. As soon as I would touch my phone, I would start a migraine. My head would start to hurt I couldn't answer texts. I couldn't check social media. I couldn't create anything. It was really interesting because my day was filled in my bedroom in complete darkness. And you know what? I'm going to be really honest that it was harder than the surgery to go through this. And I realized how I had become so consistently looking at the phone and getting back to people and creating and reaching out, that I was always responding, always moving. And it was the first time in probably 30 or 40 years, yes, that I really just couldn't. And something else happened. And I want to say this because this is a teaching. I want you to really think about your life and how you receive. Because it wasn't easy, because I'm always the facilitator. I'm the leader. I'm the elder, right? And I've stepped into this elder role of that. I am the one that helps, that has the wisdom, and sometimes has that way of that medicine woman sometimes that says, this is challenging, but I'm going to give it to you just the way it is. And I love you so much, but you need to hear this. And I always say need, because you get to hear this from a loving person. I had to receive. And I realized another thing. Wow, sleep. We're going to get to the sleep, but wow, I couldn't believe how much I slept. It was not easy. You know what? 11 incredible people, friends, Reiki students, clients, and people I love stepped in and cared for me around the clock. They did. They made meals. They helped with medication. They stayed overnight with me. They laughed with me. They sat with me in quiet whispers because I couldn't even handle them talking in a regular voice. They had to whisper, and I could only whisper. They gave me Reiki and other energy healing to help me with the migraines. And one beautiful friend, I call her my bestie, one of my bestie, in particular, Lisa, became the organizer of everything. And she did. She coordinated the schedule. She made sure someone was always there. She handled details I normally have insisted I handle. And the thing is, though, is I did this before with her. And I challenge you, and think about your life when it comes to something happening. Ask the people for help. Wow. I asked all of these people for help to help me, because I knew that I wouldn't even be able to look at the phone. So everything went through Lisa, even family. They had to call Lisa, or they would text me, but somebody else, those 11 people, had my phone. I didn't even want it in the bedroom because I could feel it. And you know what that is? I mean, from someone who's is used to leading, just like you're used to leading all the time too, aren't you? I mean, I've had CEOs come in, and it's exactly that. They'll be like, I'm used to leading all the time, and to ask for help and then let it go, because that requires trust. It requires you to do what? Just kind of surrender. I don't always like that word surrender, but yet that's really what it was, to just let it go. It required me, and I say it like this because I want you to think about how many times do you ask for help and you want the help, and you're starting to receive it, and then you say, oh, no, I got it. Or you start to take over, or you start to look at it and go, oh, she's not doing it right. He's not doing it right. I want him to do it this way. Ooh, that's somebody that's a leader. Yes, I know you are. But it requires trust, doesn't it? It requires trust. It requires to take a moment. It requires you to look at your life and receive, right? Yeah. Drink your water, take a deep breath right now. And I do this on Facebook and Instagram every morning when I take my walk at like 5 or 5:30 in the morning. I remind you, because I love you so much, before you start your day, And jumping back, what I really realized is something was beautiful. That receiving isn't weakness. Now, I've always taught that, and it's not. It's not. Receiving is regulation, regulating, allowing someone to help you, allowing yourself to rest, allowing life to support you. Whoa. One of my things that I always say is about life. I love my life, and my life loves me back. Now, why do you think I say that? Because what am I saying to the universe? What am I saying to the quantum field? What am I saying to my frequency? I love living in the energy, the frequency of my life that supports me, and I am supported by life. Ooh, right? These are acts of regulation, right? And it's not about giving up, not about falling behind, not losing your purpose. What is your purpose? Let's just take a moment. Have you written down your mission, your vision? Some of the, in your business you probably have, but do you have a personal one? Do you have a personal one that says, this is my sole commitment to the world? Because I do. And I love my soul commitment to the world. You might already know it. It is serving millions, awakening millions, reaching millions, making billions, and giving away millions. I am that light. Do you see how I worded that? It is already done. Feel that energy. So I want to jump back now about that, allowing life to support you. And that you're not giving up. When you rest, you're actually helping your circuits, your energy, your nervous system to create more. So you're not losing your purpose. You're regulating. And this is interesting because I had a student come in, and actually she called before she came in, and she said to me, Angel, all this stuff is going on. My mom's doing this, my dad's doing this, my brother's doing this, my brother went into here, and my sister's over here, and my work is here. And I said, let's just call her D. I said, D, check in for a second. Check in for a second. What have we been talking about? What have I been teaching you with these sessions? And she said, oh, well, you've been talking about how that I take care of myself. And I said, regulating. She goes, yes, regulating. It was really cute. And I said, how are you regulating? Because everything in your life, and we can bring in politics, we can bring in the world, we can bring in, so many things that are going on that just rip you up, right? That are just, we have all these things, but where are you? Where are you? This is the important part, because when we really see, where are you in this energy, in this nervous system, that's when you're regulating. Yeah. I just wanted you just to kind of take that in, because everything is going to be everything. But yet, how are you showing up, and who are you being, and how are you regulating your energy? That's the key. And yeah, that comes with boundaries. That comes with certain things that you already know that you want to take care of. We're going to get to that. So as we jump back in, there was another thing that I realized, and it's kind of surprised me. You know, with my health history and the amount of light sensitivity I've experienced, you probably would have thought that I had migraine after migraine after migraine during this time. But you know what? I never experienced a full-blown migraine. And why do you think that is? And this is a teaching point. This is why I've been here for almost a decade with my television show and helping you, training you, looking at your life, because you know what? I never got that full-blown migraine because I'm so regulated with my energy, and I've been practicing for over decades and decades about what? The breathing. I know you hear it all the time, but really, just breathe, please. The awareness of my body and how to calm my nervous system. Now, this was the important part. As soon as I started to feel this pain coming up my shoulder, that's when I had the walkie-talkie, and I would just buzz it and they would come up. And I'd say, bring me my ice. And I'd put the ice on. And then I would do the breathing. I'd do the grounding and calming my nervous system down, because I would notice the tense that I was getting tension. Before I started to suffer, I started to do what? Moving my energy. And yeah, that's what I do when I teach. And this ability to guide my energy instead of just becoming overwhelmed, because what happens usually when you're in pain? What happens? You stop. Oh, well, I'm holding my energy. You're holding the frequency of the pain. So everything that I have been teaching for for so long all came together in a different way. Yes, I have chronic pain all day, every day, and in between. And sometimes all of a sudden I'll get some pain in my fingers and I'll just move. This was different because I was alone in that room for 7 days. I couldn't believe how much I slept, for one, and for two, how I really connected to my body and sensations more because I stopped. So please, this resonates. Put it somewhere in, and I'm going to say it again and again and again, in your schedule, because you make a schedule. You have usually what you're going to do. But put your name in there, because it changed me. You know, and regulation isn't something you do when everything falls apart in your life. It really doesn't. Regulation is something that you do all the time and that you practice every day, because life will surprise you. And, you know, you already know how to respond to things because that's what we do. You've heard this before, but let's not react. Let's respond in a different way, and not just react to it, but respond to it in a regulated way. You know, it made the greatest gift in this last 6 weeks that it gave me, this beautiful 6 weeks, is not just the stillness, not the healing that I received, and also the healing that I did on myself. It was the deeper understanding that regulation changes everything in your life. It changes how you think. It changed how I even do the distant healing and moving of energy, how I show up at the event energy conductor and hold rooms and energy, how when speakers call me and hire me and it's remotely or right there, what happens? I'm able to move their energy and conduct differently, how I communicate differently, how I lead differently. And I want you to think about this too. This regulation is also how you love, loving, right? And of course, how you receive. Wow. Yeah. And ultimately, think about this one, how we experience life. The gift wasn't surgery. The gift wasn't being forced to slow down. It really wasn't. The gift was discovering that when I stop trying to control every moment, oh yeah, control me, control. Think about it. How many people say it to you? Oh, you're a control freak. Oh, you just have to. It's when I stopped. I had to. My body was saying, "You're not going anywhere." I could finally hear what my body, my mind, and my energy was trying to tell me all along what it was telling me. And what it was telling me is, it's time. It's time to regulate. And now that you understand why regulation matters, yet what does regulation actually look like in everyday life? This is my thing. These are writer downers, because I want you to be able to start doing this. You want some help? I'm always here. Because what does it really look like for you to partner with this energy instead of fighting against it? Stay with me. Stay with me right now as we go into helping you to create this. And we'll come back, and I'm going to share the simple practices that completely change the way I live, heal, and lead, and how you can begin using them today. We'll be right back after this commercial message.
To the Energize UTV, you already know the power of connection. Now imagine sharing your contact info instantly, no typing, no paper, no friction. Our digital business cards let you share your name, phone, social links, and website with one simple scan. Perfect for professionals who want to automate building their network. Ready to upgrade how you connect? Scan the QR code on the screen and get your digital business card built by JavaLogix today.
This is my digital business card, and let me tell you, it's got a video. It is stellar. Thank you, Preston, out of Canada, that helps me with my website, that helps me with so much that I do. Thank you so much. And you know what? I want to thank you right now, because I see you and you're helping raise the vibration of the planet. And I celebrate you. And I want you to feel that celebration. Feel that celebration all through you, because I celebrate you and I love you and I thank you for being here. So what does regulation actually look like? Because it doesn't it doesn't begin with the perfection. Even though you are perfect. And I like this one. I am perfect. Why am I so perfect? Oh, right? But it doesn't start with that. And it doesn't start with another morning routine or evening routine. It begins with the awareness. One of the greatest lessons in this 6-week taught me is that my body has been communicating with me all along. Yes, it really has. But the question wasn't whether my body was speaking. The question was I listening? And yeah, I was listening, but I wasn't acting either. So today we're going to look at regulation. Looks different. And because I look at it differently. And before I even schedule my day, this is your caveat here. This is what I really want you to get. So be with me, please. Before I schedule my day, I check in on my energy. So you take a moment to breathe, shoulder width apart. You connect and feel the energy and check in with your energy. And before I even say yes to anybody else also, I ask myself, it's truly a yes for me. Before I even push myself through anything, I pause and ask my body what it needs, what it wants, what it gets to have. Very powerful. That simple shift has changed everything I've learned to write those messages down. So I write them, not just appointments, not just to-do list. I write down what my body is asking for. And, sometimes it is a 20-minute or more with my eyes closed. And sometimes it's a walk. Sometimes it's just going outside and putting my feet in the dirt, in the grass, and letting Father Sun at, 117 degrees right now in Phoenix, Arizona, just beat on me. Yeah, and sweat and feel that. Maybe it's taking water. And I'm the water pusher. I get tells that a lot. Maybe it's just saying no to someone that, you once all the man to say, oh yeah, I can do that. Instead of saying, wait, let me check in, and not saying that immediate yes to everything. And for years I managed my calendar. And today I regulate my energy. My calendar follows my energy, not the other way around. I became intentional with my time. This is a writer downer. Because to set the timers to remind me to drink water, I do that. I became intentional about my sleep. Ooh, because sleep isn't a luxury anymore. It really isn't. It's not because of my age. I couldn't believe for those 7 days. I was amazed at how much I just slept. I was totally and physically fatigued, just exhausted. Had no idea. You know that your sleep is the greatest form of regulation you have. So please regulate the sleep. And also, I became intentional about my movement. And maybe it was, just a walk in the morning or walk at night. It was the stretches that I was doing. The trampoline that I got, just, of course, that took 5 weeks for me to be able to get on a trampoline. But yet, the resting that I do, still to this day, doing something, rest, doing something, rest. So important. And then also, no, I love the energy reset session that I give. I love that because it's a lot, but it's a lot of Tai Chi. It's like Qigong, but it's a beautiful way to breathe and rest, but yet your movement is a flow. And I do a lot of distant energy healing also. You know, so I learned that listening isn't quitting. It really wasn't. Listening is a wisdom. And like I said, stepping into this role of more of the elder of who I am, and all these years I've been teaching this, it is about listening to the wisdom, listening to the knowledge, the information, and then bringing that energy in, knowing that I'm never alone. And it also, I became very intentional about my food. Not just what I eat, but yes, the farmer's market. You watch that on Facebook and Instagram every Saturday. Woo woo! I love my Saturdays. But it's not just about that. It was about what I ate, yes, but it was also when I ate. And how much was the proportion, and how my body responded afterwards. That was the key. And that's the thing is, I don't like rules. Don't tell me what to do. Aren't you the same way? Don't tell me. Don't tell me what to do. Because I remember when I was a kid, if you told me what to do, I'd do the opposite. I know. Have you ever done that? And you don't even realize you're doing it. You know what? Instead of following those rules, I began following my awareness of what I knew was happening in my life. I also realized that the regulation required boundaries. And this is different because when you think about how many boundaries do you have within your health, and also about your loving boundaries, loving yourself, and also have those clear boundaries for other people. Because there's some different ones here, right? Because you don't only just have the ones that you ask in boundaries that are out there for other people and for other things. You also have them in here. And that was the interesting part of what boundaries do I have? Wow. Because there were times when I needed to tell my assistant something. And I was like, well, it's just not going to work. Or she needed something from me and there was no way I was going to get it. And I want to shout out to Beth Ann. Did a wonderful job for 6 weeks, taking over everything. And thank you for watching my TV shows still when we did the favorite ones. Oh, people loved them though. And those were the favorite ones that you liked. So thank you for that too. You know, there was times I had to tell my family and friends, I need to protect my energy. And they didn't always understand that. But yet, some of the times I would say, I teach self-centeredness, centered on self, understanding what you can do, where you are, and how you're showing up. And that was the big thing is I had to honor that because honoring my body was honoring my boundaries, which took over. And it was really surprising to me that every time I honored my energy, I honored my self-centeredness, centered on self, because I wasn't even calling anyone. I was having Lisa call them, or I was having whoever was taking care of me. If I saw something, I'd say, call them back, but get out of the room and tell them I'm doing great, but that I'm not talking to anyone, but I love them. And it was really surprising to me that I honored my energy in such a way that my energy honored me back. Did you hear that? Because I want that for you. Because that surprised me. Again, it surprised me the most that it honored me back. Because I did. I had more clarity, more peace, more joy. And don't you want that too? More creativity, more presence? So regulation isn't restrictive. It's free. And remember, in my Shine On book, what's the last bonus chapter? Freedom. I want you to feel that freedom inside of you, that you always feel free and you are, no matter what is happening around you, you can regulate your energy to feel good, Because I don't want regulation to be restrictive because it is really freeing. Because what's happening is we're fighting our own energy a lot. And you know what? Your energy begins working with you instead of against you when you start to regulate. So if there's anything you remember, only one thing from today's program, from today that I'm here with you, I would love for you to remember that your body is always communicating. Your nervous system is always communicating. Your energy is always communicating. And really the question starts to be what? It really starts to be, are you really listening to what it's saying? But yet, are you slowing down in the day to really listen to it? Because when we slow down, meaning taking those times, we stop surviving our life and rushing through our life and we begin what? Actually living it. I want to give you a couple examples because I think this would really be helpful for you in what I do. When I get up in the morning, one of the first things I do is start taking just deep breaths, not like that. And I'm still laying there and I start to move. Now, I admit I'm pretty stiff. I'm very stiff from all the things that I already said that I'm diagnosed with. I'm not going to go into it, but I'm stiff. And sometimes it's stiffer more because if I didn't eat very well, very healthy, the food can make me even stiffer. So I lay there for a few minutes and really take a moment and start to breathe. And it's just so rhythmic. And if you want the breath, you can do an in for 6, hold for 2, and out for 8. I love giving that one. Hold for 2, out for 8. The whole nervous system, vagus nerve, everything starts to come into alignment. And yes, even at night, you go out of alignment. You do. And I do this throughout the day, and it helps me to go to sleep at night also. What I want you to get from this is it's taking the moment to do the breath. And there's many breath exercises. So whatever you want, there's 4-4-4, there's an 8-4, 7 or something. There's all kinds of ones. So what I'm saying is I just wanted to show you that you can do whatever ones that you'd like. Do something that it's not like the alarm goes off. And if you do have an alarm that goes off, like I do not, thank you, I do not. I just tell the universe, I tell myself, I tell that vibrational field, that circuit, I want to get up at 4:30 or 5. That's what I tell the universe. No matter what time I go to bed, I know I'm going to wake up at that because I have done it for so long. If you wake up to an alarm, you know what happens? It jolts your whole nervous system. Your vagus nerves goes, everything. Please start the breath. Turn it off. Don't close your eyes if you're going to fall back to sleep. Don't do that. Maybe even sit up if you need to, because you're thinking, oh, I only got 4 hours sleep. Oh, I only got 6 hours sleep. Oh, I only got, don't do that. Remember, the body knows, the body will know, the body will adjust. So start your breath. Beautiful. And as you start your breath, you get up. And what are you thinking about? Well, most of the time it is, oh, I need to pee. I know, but I said it because, I hope you do, but that means that you drank your water because I, I'm just, I love laughing because it helps you to just don't take everything so seriously. And you got this, and it helps your nervous system and your vagus nerve to laugh anyway. So just continue to laugh. You've got this. So you're up now, and maybe you're peeing. And as you come back, you're washing your hands. Yes, washing your hands. Look up in your eyes. And that's when I start to say, I love you, Angel Marie Louise Monticelli. You are so amazing. Give that, whatever that might be, that helps you. For me, it is, you are amazing. You are the elder, and you show up with that light. And I get to help people today. I get to serve today. And I feel so good and healthy. I'm so excited to create beautiful relationships. You make up your own. But basically, we're doing all these tasks throughout the day. And I want them to be easy. So that's another thing that I do. I say, oh, all my tasks, everything that I do today is so easy. My relationships are so easy. I love them. They're honest and integrity, and how I serve others, how I show up. And I'm so excited to show up and to help others because I get to. I get to. And I love that I feel so good. I feel so good. And I look at everything in my life as healthy. So what do I want to do today? And I do. I'm looking in the mirror, I'm washing my hands, usually brush my teeth a little bit, because, that morning thing. And then I go and I take that water. And really, I do 8 ounces at least. I'm not a nutritionist. Please make sure that's okay with you. So, but yet I'm taking that water in because all night, everything's moving in there, right? And then a lot of people will take coffee or orange juice and it just shucks the system. So you know what? Go ahead and take that water, which will help to flush all the toxins out. And that's really what we want, is all the toxins. Those are a couple things that you can do that will help you in your energy. Because remember, the nervous system's always talking to you. So it will help you in the morning. And there's more that I do, yet it's also getting excited, getting inspired. Remember that getting inspired is different than being motivated. You're motivated to do the laundry because you have no clothes. Okay. That's a motivation. You're inspired to do the laundry when I buy new things and I'm all excited to get those because I want to wear them. I'm inspired, and that helps me to feel different. So what lights you up in your life that you really like doing? Feel that vibration and feel it as, I love feeling and living in the frequency and vibration of what inspires me, what gets me going, it lights me up, which is serving others, feeling good and eating well, my spiritual growth and taking time to slow down and regulate my energy and check in. Beautiful? I hope it lands with you, because really, I want you to stop surviving your life and I want you to begin now living it. Because why? Because you can. Because you can. And thank you for almost a decade being with me on this Energize You TV, which really is helping you regulate your energy, connect to your energy. So we can continue and say thank you until next week. We have the amazing Jenny Batchlick. She is coming on, and we're going to be talking about increase your joy, the power of emotional intelligence. Ooh, I can't wait for this one. And also, I want to share with you, here is her spotlight moment and get to know her a little bit more. And I love what she talks about the bucket. So go ahead, and here it is.
Hello, intuitive minds. I want to thank Angel Marie for creating an opportunity for teachers and healers to share so that those who are seeking can continue to evolve. I knew from the first time I did her show around 5 years ago that she was special, and I'm so glad she's continuing to shine her light. Hi, I'm Jenny Battig, certified hypnotherapist and author of the book Mind Your Buckets. I love making it possible for more people to understand and be able to tap into their subconscious superpowers so they can live a happier, more authentic, and fulfilling life. For example, next time you feel overwhelmed or about to lose your cool, close your eyes for a few moments and imagine all the challenges and obstacles that have been filling up your patience bucket, like a bucket of dirty mop water. Then just imagine, as you do some conscious breathing, pouring the contents of that bucket into a drain each time you exhale. Envision all that dirty water going down the drain and being gone, leaving you with more capacity to handle things that are happening now without any overflow. Whether you're on the path of healing, growth, or learning to work with your energy, this is your reminder. Your energy matters, your voice matters, and you are not alone. I want to thank Angel Marie again for the opportunity to share with you all, and I'm excited for you to take in the full episode.
Oh my gosh, didn't you like the bucket stuff? I really like that. So mark your calendar for next week. You know, I'm always here at 11 o'clock Pacific time, because you're going to love this conversation. And you know what? I would love to give you a free gift also. And this is a membership to the Energy Reset Sessions. Now, these are so powerful to regulate, because your personal power begins with learning how to manage and regulate your energy. Energy Reset Session gives you that simple, where you feel calmer, you think clearer, and you show up more powerfully in your life, relationships, work. And I like to do it in the morning real early, because it's like setting the tone. So I'd love for you to get this, because it's a must, and it is my gift to you. So either go to angelmarieshines.com and go to the events page, or just scan this QR code here and join me online. It's a free 2 weeks that I want to give you to help you to manage and energize and reset your energy. And you know what? If you want to go even deeper with the energy in the field, and you would like to look at my books, I would love for you, because these hold the foundation of the teaching you experienced here on Energize You TV, and they're available to you as well through my website also. So I can't wait to see you again. And remember something, your energy is the music of your life. So keep it tuned, keep it flowing, keep it activated, and let your life become a masterpiece. I'll be here every week, and I'm to bring you practical wisdom, to simple strategies, and to help you live in a greater confidence, clarity, and purpose. Until next time, regulate your energy, elevate your impact, and activate your greatness. I'll see you next week on Energize UTV, where energy meets modern life. Before you go, take a moment and ask yourself one simple question. What am I taking with me from this conversation? I'm Angel Marie, and this is Energize UTV, where we